Well, hello everybody. Welcome to the show here. This is Real Talk with Don Robeson, coming to you live from inside the room here. As always, viewer discretion is advised. Explicit language is imminent. Those who cannot handle the language, please do not continue watching. As you're about to see earlier today, Steven Crowder released another episode titled Breaking Why South Korea's Martial Law Really Matters to America. So if you're following us here on Rumble, thank you. And if you're following us on Locals, YouTube, Twitch, Kick, Facebook, X, TikTok, our website, our blog, I thank you. Now, I always say this in every episode, gifts are not welcome. Gifts are welcome. Likes are welcome. Everything's welcome. So, let's get to the episode.
Samson, I just don't understand why you won't tell me what would make you as weak as any other man.
What? What? I repeat, what? Is that of course, why would I tell you that?
Oh, you don't trust me? Is that it?
Is that a serious question? Is that a serious question? Of course I don't trust you. The last time we went out for Drink Tuesday at happy hour, you said, hey, what would make you as weak as you remember? What would make you as weak as any other man? I said, I don't know. We had a couple of daiquiris and you know what? If I wake up tied in fresh ropes, lo and behold, the very next morning, tied with fresh ropes, they still smell like new ropes.
That was a sex thing, Samson.
Oh, it was a sex thing. Was it? Was it a sex thing? Because I don't remember any sex as part of that thing. Well, while we're on the subject, next time, what would make you as weak as any other man? Why don't you trust me? And I tell you, if someone were to tie my hair in a weave, I would lose all my power, and I wake up like this.
I would love the new look.
Who would love this new look? Who, my boy George? No one likes this look.
Samson, I just need you to trust me.
Oh, you need me to trust you. Okay, now we're at the point where we talk about your needs. Forget about my needs at all. As the strongest man in the world who's actually tasked with ensuring the bloodline of the Lord's people effectively. Do you have any idea how hard it is to kill over a dozen people with the jawbone of a donkey? No. Do you know how hard it is to actually get a jawbone off a donkey?
It isn't gonna work if you don't trust me.
Blocks, boundaries, no boundaries. We need to work on this together. We're a team. We are not each other's enemy. My hair, okay? That's the source of all my power. You want me to trust you? There it is. I'm being vulnerable instead of angry because anger is not an emotion. It simply masks the real emotion. We know that. My hair were cut, I'd be as weak as any other man.
Click Rumble Premium and join now for $99 annually or $9.99 a month to get the entirely ad-free experience and exclusive content from Louder with Crowder, Nick DiPaolo, Mr. Guns and Gear, Donald Trump Jr., and an ever-expanding roster of content, creators, and free speech. Glad to be with you. And we also have back with us today, Captain Morgan, CEO.
Yeah.
How are you?
I'm well. How are you?
Yeah, because you're not sick. You lied.
No, I was sick. I
You
just
lied.
wasn't as sick
He
as my
wasn't
wife
sick.
and children who I was taking care of.
His
Yeah.
family was sick.
I was also sick.
His
I
family
still
was
am
sick.
also okay. Whatever.
Yeah.
I don't believe him.
Yeah, it was
Screw you, Tim.
it was Munchausen by pussy. Sorry. Sorry. Okay, before we have a lot to get to today. South Korea. It's a silly place. Tiny people. but it is in chaos, and it has some implications for the United States. Have you been following this? Do you know what's going on there? We're going to kind of give you the ins and outs because a lot of people here don't necessarily know, and it's not going to go great. Also, a lot of celebrities have been fleeing the country, because of Donald Trump, and some OnlyFans celebrities now are sterilizing themselves. So we've actually done an analysis of the countries to which they are fleeing. Spoiler alert, you leave the United States for more freedom, you don't get it. There is no other place on earth. And we're going to be talking about academia and the uneducated masses. That's the talking point from the left right now, if you watch their shows. The big divide in voting is the educated versus uneducated. And by that, they mean those with degrees in English literature or gender studies. So my question to you is, what metrics do you think should be used as far as gauging if someone is educated or someone is successful? I think we're looking at the wrong data here. What we want is a country with functioning and contributing members of society. I don't think that a college degree is an indicator of that anymore. I think income, I think family stability, I think debt to savings ratio. I think there are a lot of other metrics that would be more valuable, and we need to fundamentally shift that window and how we think about it in the country. But comment below as to what you think. And at some point today, because we will be talking about Chinese extraction machines, you're going to see this on YouTube. Head on over to Rumble. That's where you should watch anyway. You get 100% more show. Rumble Premium, click that button. You watch the whole thing. It's a live show, weekdays, 10 a.m. And on Rumble Premium, you also get this man's show, who is in third chair today. When you hear this, you can watch him evenings here on Rumble Premium and formerly Mug Club. And Thursday, February 20th, he's going to be at the, is he going to be at the Bricktown Comedy Club in Tulsa, Oklahoma?
Sure, if you say so.
Okay. All of his dates. I thought that was Josh. Is that Josh or is that?
No, that's me.
That is you. Okay,
February, but yeah, it's in February of
okay.
the next year. So I'm really packing the schedule, as you can see.
Well, hold on a second. NickDip.com for all his dates. Funniest man alive. Nick DiPaolo, how are you, sir?
I'm terrific, Stephen. How are you?
I'm good. We're all better than Gerald, apparently, as far as, honesty.
Is he sick,
Wanna
Gerald?
get AIDS?
He's not sick.
Sick? No, I am sick.
Yeah.
I still
You are
am
sick. You're sick. It's a sick thing to do.
No.
No.
I am too.
Sick in the head.
Let's go on to this because
Shut
we have
up,
Nick
Noodles.
DiPaolo right here in third chair, and this is just a layup. This is T-ball at this point.
This is funny.
So automation, is taking a lot of jobs, and that's a discussion to have. Automation versus AI, I think, are two separate discussions. Okay. Let's all handle this maturely.
No.
What?
The Chinese, Chinese for the uninitiated. It is a slow news day. When we're talking about South Korea, it's a slow news day, but that often means these are the best days. So the Chinese are taking automation quite seriously, as they often do, with a new hyperly efficient device, as the Chinese do, to help their men provide samples. First off, pause. You know where this is going.
Yeah, right up my ass.
I apologize. That is very generous for the population of Chinese males. Let's continue with this.
Lied about the grande.
Could fit 30 in there.
There isn't even a privacy screen.
It's in the hallway.
But somebody's doing their laundry. We have an ATM in Savannah that has one. What are you doing? Making a deposit.
Nice.
It's one of those new biometric. And also, by the way,
Look at
pause
the
it.
stud.
Don't you love how this guy, of course, someone in China would be analyzing a fake vagina machine with no arousals, just like, okay, you go good depth.
He's proud of his machine.
This is what happened when you kill all your daughter.
He's waiting there like a soft serve's going to come out. This thing make coffee too?
Okay, keep playing.
There's an audio jack.
Oh,
There's an audio jack.
Oh, I thought that was bass.
It can replicate physical movements of sexual
Hey, it's
intercourse
ding,
by
clang.
moving back and forth. For audio.
Comprehensive coverage.
And pressure. It minimizes waste and prevents contamination.
I'm sorry, what?
Congratulations, you're my 100 customer.
It looks like a commercial for GM trucks, 8 pistons or something. Ram top.
This thing got a Hemi?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, it's a Hemi.
Oh! No.
no, it's a Hemi.
You need turbo.
They don't even try to put a little fake hair around it.
No, they don't.
No semi with a Hemi.
I always have fantasy of short circuit.
Yeah, what happens if power goes out? You're stuck in that. Explain that to your electrician.
Turn on their coal-powered generator. It gets too torquey.
Yeah, the wife's gonna go out and put gas in the generator. Get me out of this thing.
I like this one. Hey, you getting an MRI?
One day, someone's just gonna be running out there. Oh no, Skynet has fallen. the machine. Everybody.
That seems perfect for the Chinese because they don't seem very sensual. I might be
No,
wrong about that,
no,
but it's very mechanical. They have 1 billion kids a year. Let's get this done. Let's get the cream to the top.
Yep. This is what happens
All
when you
right,
kill
soup.
all your daughters. This is the byproduct of a godless
Yes.
godless society. As much as we're
Yes.
joking, a godless society where they go, "Oh, we need to have more field hand. We only want sons." So no women. They have they have a real birth problem. They're going to be forcing women to carry babies in 5 years' time. I bet that's what Lane was
I
talking
already
about.
ordered one.
Gosh.
Yeah.
I got the. There's an option. You can make you BLT after.
Yeah.
That cost me an extra 50. It was a luxury package.
They have an upgrade that
It
it insults you.
I love how it has an audio jack. It's not like it's
Ow.
this hyper modern machine, but it doesn't even have Bluetooth. That's all you got. Voice activated. Hey, you say, "Hey Siri, suck my." I'm sorry. I know. Look, it's like I always say, this is a PG-13, but you have to. This is going on in the
Is
world.
it really?
This is going on. PG-13. This is going on in the world. That's China. That's the state of it. When people here are not having children, when people here are vilifying the nuclear family, you end up with China. Whenever someone points to Eastern philosophy, medicine, or say I spent time in the Orient, I think you can still say that now. Just go, why? They've got nothing right.
They're already here. I tried one out at the Shopper Image at the mall.
Right next to the massage chairs, right?
You're gonna have a hamaka shema, back of airline. Yeah, very funny.
China, hypersonic missiles, and this.
Yeah, exactly.
That's their version of IKEA. My bookcase turned into a fake. Yeah, right.
Freshly clean.
You also try meatball on way out. Follow arrow.
They'll figure a way to use that as a torture device.
Oh, of course they will. Yeah.
They'll heat up that pipe to 4,000 degrees.
They'll put some bamboo chips in it.
Yeah.
Surprise!
Broken glass.
Oh no!
Broken glass.
Not again.
And make the macaroni.
Oh, China.
Finger
I
trap.
don't like it, and I think we should punish them with more sanctions and tariffs.
It'll blow you and make pot stickers.
You don't know why they stick.
And there's not even a privacy screen.
No.
You're going to have 6 guys lined up in one place.
One selfish.
Put them in ballpark bathrooms.
I just think you have these celebrities. We'll get them complaining about this dystopian world in the United States. What do you think about a bunch of Chinese men screwing a machine like 12 in a room because they have a birth rate problem? Is that not 84 enough?
How's that make you feel, feminist?
Hey, buddy, hurry up! Big line.
We actually have feminist setting. While you bang machine, it talk back. Make me feel bad about myself. Never her fault. Never machine fault.
I know what I'm getting for Christmas.
Only 3 pump. You see, doctor.
Sponsored by Brew Chew.
That's a rookie number.
Brew Chew. Nothing to do with coffee, by the way. Brew Chew.
Brew Chew. I chew, you chew, Brew Chew. Hey, by the way, where is Josh? He was supposed to.
He said he had to be out for a doctor's appointment.
Oh,
or
really?
something.
I don't remember approving that. Can we get him on the line?
Yeah, I'll give it a
call him.
shot. Here we go.
Where in the world is Josh?
Hey.
Hello?
Yeah, Josh, where are you? I heard you something about a doctor's note. Are you sick? Actually, though.
No, I'm just getting a fertility check.
Are you on a plane?
What? No.
It looks like a plane.
We've reached an altitude of 30,000 feet. We hope you enjoy the John Will Marathon on our 12-hour, 50-minute flight to Beijing.
Oh, hell yeah. John Woo. Gotta go, Steven.
Yeah, I don't.
Where in the world is
Josh?
Okay.
I mean, if you ever want to be first in line, that's
Yeah,
gonna
exactly.
be that's the case. Yes, you want to be customer number one.
Yes, exactly. Oh, what a messed
Screw the
up.
iPhone lines. Maybe that's the
What a messed up, godless society. And they still won't allow their citizens to smoke pot. So what does that tell you? No.
They all look stoned anyway.
Yes. Yes.
happy other way.
By the way, we do have a couple of sort of ongoing watches, I guess to say, to keep an eye on today. The Daniel Penny verdict could be coming back. I know that is it the jury that they're deliberating right now?
They're deliberating, yes.
They're deliberating. For those who don't remember, this is Daniel Penny, New York. He is the person on trial for manslaughter who subdued the crazy, likely crackhead in the subway, right, Jordan Neely, and was asked to restrain him. And they may try and crucify this guy.
Oh, they're trying.
Yeah, they really.
You get a look at the district attorney. I should say, the assistant.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. My theory holds true.
Yep. The guy's facing 15 years potentially in prison if he's convicted. So we'll keep you updated on that. And by the way, while we're talking about New York City, we all know that New York City is the worst city in the country.
Mm-hmm.
So I've made here a Truth Social post inviting you right now today live to drop your best New York City memes or your jokes. And we'll air our favorite ones live right here in the show before the end. So go to my Truth Social right there. It's a great platform to go and take part. Obviously, that's where you read most of Trump's posts. And the winner gets a lock of Gerald's neck hair because he's run out of back hair.
Neck hair?
Yes. Also today, we're going to keep an eye on this. You know, the Supreme Court, we talked about this Monday. I don't know why more people are not talking about this. The case before the Supreme Court right now, that's going to start today. They're talking about it right here on CNN.
Right now, yeah.
It's about... Basically, think about this. You talk about a slippery slope. Before the Supreme Court, it has made it to the highest court in the land where you have people pushing for minors, for children to get sex changes. They are actually trying to get the Supreme Court to forbid states from banning sex changes and hormones for minors. So when people say, oh, that's not an issue, why are you turning all the fake culture war stuff? This is before the Supreme Court today. You know what? This actually brings us, we introduce you to the lawyer, Strangio. This brings us to an installment of Strangio Things.
If Tennessee is successful, if the Supreme Court, in essence, sides with the government of Tennessee, I think that will open the door to the types of federal bans on this care, not only for minors, but for adults too.
For adults too, you think?
I do. And I think that's one of the things we should be really concerned about. We're hearing a lot about young people can't consent to this care, but it is their parents consenting to this care. And at the end of the day, we have adults who live as transgender people like myself, who have families, who are part of communities, who are part of this society. And if the incoming administration bans our healthcare, that is essentially excising us from this country.
Yeah, and it was hard to pick because it gets worse. There's actually a clip of this person with Jake Tapper saying that 2-year-olds can transition. If we could pull that clip, Mission Control.
Yeah, people as young as 2 know that
people
they're
as young
like
as
this.
2.
Yeah, come on.
They're not
Crazy,
even
this
to
guy.
the age of eating paste at that point. You don't even know if the child has a learning disability at 2.
Right.
Look, if you don't believe in the idea of evil, going before the Supreme Court to argue that children should be able to irreparably damage their sexual organs, their entire endocrine system. If you don't believe in evil, 2-year-olds being capable of deciding on transitioning, I don't know. I don't know what more you need. Comment below. How does it get more evil in the United States? We're in a nice insulated world here where we don't have genocide. We don't really have wars right here on our home front. That's about as bad as it gets. And by the way, everything that person said is the opposite. Like I told you, they try and gaslight you. This may remove care from adults. No, that's not what we're talking about. This is actually, it is consented to by the parents. No. The problem that you have right now is many parents have said, no, we do not consent to this. And you want states to be able to take those children away from the parents. The bans say the parents have the right to determine the future of their children when they're as young as, 2. So when they say the parents are consenting to this, no, the parents are saying no. And you don't want the parents to be able to say no. You want the state to forcibly say yes. So make sure you really understand that dynamic there and we frame it properly as we discuss this issue. And we'll bring up that other clip here in the show.
Send that into us, guys. And just we talked about this with Tim Walz, the sanctuary state for this kind of stuff.
Yep.
Right. So don't think like, oh, okay, they're just trying to make it to where this is accessible to people who maybe can get their parents to sign off on it because the doctor says, hey, they're going to commit suicide if you don't.
Yeah, that's
right.
always
You're a
what they
good
say.
parent, right? You want to make sure that your son doesn't commit suicide, right? That's exactly the kind of stuff that happens from these freaking doctors that should do a better job and then put Tim Walz's state's policies on every state.
Yeah.
And then put Washington State, I believe it was, where they said that, they could run away from their parents and they wouldn't even tell them where they were.
They would hide the information.
They would hide the information from their parents if they're out there. So it's this dystopian world where kids can just do whatever the hell they want and run away.
Yeah.
And get sex changes.
That's before the
Supreme
Supreme Court today. A lot
Yes.
of Americans aren't aware of case law sometimes. They're not aware that the Heller versus DC case that we talked about, the dissenting opinion said that actually you have no right to own firearms whatsoever. When you actually get into the legal arguments out of the court of public opinion, but what has to be argued in a court of law, it's terrifying. So we'll stay on top of that and update you as these things kind of continue to play out today. Let's go to this while we're waiting on that. The left is really, if you listen or watch their shows, and we do every day, and that's why we provide all of the references, link in the description. And most of them are left-leaning sources. I think when we run the numbers, it's about 80-something%. Because we don't want you to believe what we're saying right here. We want you to believe the arguments that the left are making themselves. So right now, the argument that they are making and trying to correct course from this last election, the shellacking, is actually the big divide we should focus on is Trump is only able to win because of a lack of education. We need to look at voters, not male, female, not race, not class, but the educated, meaning college degrees. That's the metric they use. Do you equate that with being educated today, a college degree? I don't. Versus the uneducated, huddled masses who don't know any better. You.
What's the big divide in American politics? It's the diploma divide. College-educated people are now trending sharply to the left, to the Democrats. High school-educated people are trending sharply to the right.
So Americans who don't travel, who 80% don't have a passport, who are uneducated,
Shut up,
are in their extraordinary naivete.
So why do you think that uneducated white women voted against their reproductive health?
And they think that only stupid people vote for politicians like Donald Trump. Well, there may be stupid people in America, just as there are no doubt stupid people in this country.
Let me just make one point here. They're trying to equate higher education with intelligence. You just heard them do that. If higher education was a sign of intelligence, then not everybody would be able to do it. You cannot have a bell curve that is reality as far as IQ and say, and everyone can and should go to college. You can't have it both ways. Higher education, a college degree, cannot be an indicator of intelligence if you claim that everyone can do it. Does that make sense? Can you comment below? Let me know. Does that make sense? And what is education anymore? Is this the metric that we should be looking to? And when I say education, I mean how they are using it.
Yeah.
Because the truth is, you can educate. You don't even need a public library anymore. The Goodwill Hunting line doesn't work because you have a smartphone. You can learn anything at any moment. And what's scary is we have more information than ever, more tools to learn than ever, and we have people who are less literate than previous generations. So we have a problem of choice and people making the wrong. Really, we have a problem with people making the wrong decisions. Just like obesity. You can eat healthy. You can choose to not. Sorry, food deserts are not a thing anymore. The idea that you can only eat fast food if you're poor, that's not a thing anymore. You can eat oats, bananas, tuna, eggs, milk. You can be healthy and poor. We have more choice than ever, and we have fatter people, we have sicker people, we have dumber people, according to standardized literacy and mathematics tests. And you have, in the palm of your hand, more power than all of NASA from when your parents were growing up. And that's why they want to perpetuate this lie. And we're going to get to this thesis from, I believe, a student and professor to show you what kind of education you can expect in our hallowed halls. This is the latest installment of Make My Professor Famous. All right. The X post here sums it up quite well. This is Ali Lukes, an English literature PhD candidate at Cambridge. A lot of impressive words there.
They also teach, by the way, when
Yes,
they're candidate.
this person teaches.
Class.
Posted this, thrilled to say, of course they look like that. Thrilled to say I passed my Viva with no corrections and I'm officially PH done. The title of the thesis in question, Olfactory Ethics, the Politics of Smell in Modern and Contemporary Prose.
What?
So no. This is the Harris voter. Yeah, you're just uneducated.
What?
You're just uneducated. Just
Okay,
stop
fine.
being
Educate me.
uneducated. Okay.
Educate me.
I expect better from the Aryan and the Guinea here.
Bullshit. I went to DeVry.
I'm a Phoenix.
University of Maine, 2.4, and I'm proud of it. A lot of fat broads. Go ahead.
Dr. Lukes posted this he posted her abstract to clarify because you might be confused. So let me make sure it's really clear. This is what this person posted. The broad aim of this thesis is to offer an intersectional and wide-ranging study of olfactory oppression by establishing the underlying logics that facilitate smell's application in creating and subverting gender, class, sexual, racial, and species-powered structures. So really about smell and how that relates to oppression. Least thrilled about this thesis, by the way, is this guy. Yeah, he's not.
Oh, come on. All right.
So, and here's the thing, too.
It didn't even look like a cab.
No.
It could have been a Buick.
It could have. and here's the thing.
Oh, that was great.
Higher education, Cambridge, right. But common sense would say, if you're actually looking to resolve a problem, if you actually believe that we have a problem of gender, racially based oppression in this country, you go, okay, what affects that most? You'd have a list of 10 things. Olfactory suppression would not be amongst them.
I mean,
but you might look at, okay, the workplace. You might look at dynamics or CEOs, which the left tries to do, which is also BS. But you look at some other power dynamic structures that exist. That would be common sense, where you go, if you actually believe that there is an urgent problem that needs to be dealt with of oppression, of systemic oppression, prejudice, you wouldn't go straight to smell. Of the five senses, that would be the last one. Taste would come out above it.
I don't even know how taste plays into this thing.
Yes, I have no idea what the fuck you're talking about.
That's exactly. Well, the good news is she clarified in a following post. So sorry,
okay,
Nick, I'll make sure it's really clear. I wasn't good with that. It says, to be clear, this abstract was written for experts within my discipline and field. It was not written for a lay audience, and this is not how I would communicate my ideas to the average person. Logical fallacy alert! Logical fallacy alert! It's the appeal to authority fallacy. You just don't know, Nick and Gerald, because you're uneducated. You heard them talk about you on CNN. This is for experts. We understand how the olfactory senses affect sexual discrimination. Or you're an idiot. Or you're an idiot at an Ivy League school. You can be an idiot anywhere. I'm sorry. This idea, we have to completely dispel this myth right now that college degree equals education. It doesn't. Not in 2024.
Some of the smartest people I know worked in olfactories.
Yeah, yes.
Are we just supposed to put up with people who stink? Is that the end of this? Is that like the final point of her thesis is like, well, just to make sure that we did people that smell like human feces has been rubbed all over their face.
Yes.
Should
that's olfactory suppression.
You should treat them as if it's like, cool water.
Sounds like you need to check your clean privilege.
You need to,
Or she's saying, pheromones are racist.
Oh,
I don't know, but here's what I do know. A graduate degree at Cambridge costs $105,000.
No, Stephen, that would be appropriate. It's $105,000 and $3.84. Okay, so where's the $3.84, Cambridge? Why do you need that extra little bit of money?
Probably the snoring strip.
Just round it.
Yeah.
Make it easy for everyone.
And here's the thing. We say, oh, college degree, we're going to separate them in a voter block into educated versus not educated. All right, let's look at, we want a society with productive members of society, right? That's what you've had for every single civilization, going from tribal villages to the modern Western world. What you focus on, and this is where we believed in education was an indicator of this in the past, when you would get a broad education preparing you for the world, This was designed to help you be a contributing, functioning member of society who would improve society. But today, is that the metric we should use? If we're trying to create a healthy society, is this kind of education? Is this an indicator? Could it be less relevant? Let me give you some examples here. I think we should be looking at things like income to debt, family size, success in relationships, right? Mental health. Let's look at just the income to debt for graduates. So a PhD in English, this is English literature. The median income is $55,000. The median debt from student debt, largely, $41,000. Let's look at trade school. Median income is $67,000 and the debt is $10,000. Which example is an indicator of someone who will benefit society? And Thomas Sowell talks about this a lot. If you're in the trades, if you're a plumber, if you're a welder, if you're a carpenter, you have knowledge that this person with an English lit degree does not have. Just like this person with an English lit degree maybe has some knowledge that you don't have. Here's the difference today in 2024. That welder, that plumber can learn everything that you have learned just as quickly. You can't unless you go to a trade school.
Right.
And those are necessary skills. Which person would you rather have in society? This person who writes a thesis, likely at some point to be studied at the taxpayer dime, on olfactory suppression. What are they doing to improve your community, to improve this country, versus the person who learns a trade and fixes your pipes or makes your table or your cabinets?
Why would you spend $100,000 on a degree that basically earns you less than what you would get coming out of, like, Notre Dame with just a regular degree, like a 4-year degree? $100,000 on this PhD,
right?
And you're coming out, and I looked this up before we came on air, but specifically English Lit PhD, $50,000.
Yeah,
maybe up to $70,000 at the high end. I was like, what? No, you're like, okay, fine. They want to go into academia and ranges in salary for them are typically suppressed. Fine, but name me something outside of academia where there's a lot of that are going to make $200,000, $300,000, $400,000 a year. Why would you do that?
Yeah. And you know what else too? Those people who go to trade schools, they're more likely to have children.
Yes.
They're more likely to have families, right? These people who go and get a PhD, they're less likely to have children. They're less likely to create families. Don't know if you know this. You just saw the sex machines in China. They kind of have a birth problem. So again,
lots of PhDs
yes,
in English Lit.
Lots of PhDs. It's very hard to do English literature.
More importantly, the people that go to trade schools are not going to get indoctrinated.
Right. Yeah.
Yes.
Even when education used to be, it wasn't all left-wing horse shit.
Right.
You could have tried to make a little bit of an argument. Right now,
no,
it's ridiculous.
And I will say this is anecdotal. We've just gone through the empirical, the references are available. Anecdotally, I have never met someone, I've met some really, really smart people in my life who didn't go to college, didn't finish college. Okay. So I'm talking about people who stood out, who really impressed me intellectually. In many cases, were very intimidating. They were so smart. I've met some who did go to college. I've never met one person in my life who was intellectually impressive, who would list their degree. In other words, every single person I met who's really smart, either they went to school or they didn't. And if they did go to school, they didn't really bring it up. They didn't take pride in their degree.
Right.
I've met all of the stupid people that I have met immediately point to their degree. Have you encountered that? All of the people who I've met, the second they get checkmated as far as an argument, they go, well, I did go to Brown. I don't give a rat's ass. You sound stupid.
Hey, guys, take the degree off my wall, will you?
Yes.
Appreciate that.
It's a status thing. It's like having a Mercedes or a black baby.
Yeah.
Well, that's what it is in Hollywood. Why do you think Madonna adopted half of Nigeria? You think she did that of her sweetness of her heart? Somebody write that down. That should go on my action.
All right.
Does that make the air? Please tell me that doesn't.
No, of course it does. Mercedes or black.
I don't know what you guys do back there.
I got it written down for you.
Got it.
Thank you.
And just to give you more proof that academia is ridiculous and the left just cannot fix, they can't fix this. They can't right this ship because this is what they think they need to focus on right now. And they're going to isolate themselves more. I can prove to you that it's complete BS because C. Matheson, for those of you who've forgotten.
Oh, no.
C. Matheson, someone who's worked in this office, a transgender who looks quite a bit like yours truly, actually submitted and was peer-reviewed in submitting a paper, a thesis on fat pride as a method of self-care in the era of Trump. Got accepted. Now, I decided to write and submit my very own fat studies paper for presentation, and with the help of my brilliant researcher, I wrote an entire essay titled Embracing Fatness as Self-Care in the Era of Trump. I then submitted the abstract to the conference. And, did I say that I wrote the essay? I meant to say it was submitted by C. Matheson, a wonderful and totally academically legitimate genderqueer fat pride activist.
Hello, I am C. Matheson. I am an activist based out of Austin, Texas, specifically working with the non-binary and fat community to help increase presence of intersectional and non-binary people with such events in Austin as a Women's March, March for Our Lives, most recently the global climate strikes. My preferred pronouns are she and her, and my paper, Embracing Fatness as Self-Care in the Era of Donald Trump.
Now, let me explain to you how I did that.
Please.
I literally said, okay, what is the dumbest crap I can think up and write down on a page? And then handed it in. And they gave me a speaking slot.
Yes, they wanted you to come and speak at their the next event, right?
Yes.
Unbelievable.
I literally, and I'm not misusing this, literally couldn't think of anything dumber than what I wrote down. And it was lauded with praise. Also, they complimented C. Matheson's sweater.
They did.
It's goodwill.
Nice. I don't think listen, that's not the main point. By the way, Stossel referenced this like a month ago in a video that he put out about academia as well. He referenced you right off the top. Like, look,
as it turns out, C. Matheson actually has a penis. So,
That's a huge bitch.
by the way, if you want to support more of this Mug Club Undercover, but all these kinds of social experiments that we do and research and stings, you get the show every day, but click right there, join Rumble Premium. It's $99 annually, $9.99 a month. You can try it, and you get everything ad-free. You get us, you get Nick DiPaolo, you get the Friday show, you support Mug Club Undercover, all of these pieces of content that you know and love. You have Dr. Disrespect now, I believe. Barstool is there on Rumble Premium. Am I correct about
the Surviving Barstool, the uncensored version is exclusively available on Rumble Premium.
So one-stop shop.
Big moves.
You guys sign up, you support, you wanted a free speech platform. Here you go. It has a track record for you to trust, right? It's principled enough for you, but big enough to work. You need both. All right. Let's move on here. Celebrities. This is fun. I'm sure Nick is. By the way, I could see. I did write it down. I wrote down your.
I was writing down some other dick jokes.
Okay. Well, no, I have
that machine triggered something to me.
I wonder why.
Or Black Baby.
Nick's trying to get the fast pass to make sure you can skip the line.
Yeah, it's like clear.
Is there a Black Friday sale? Hello.
No. You can keep your shoe. Keep your shoe.
Keep shoe on. Keep jacket on. Clear.
Yeah, we've analyzed sample. It is you, Nick.
You can keep shoe, you can keep jacket, but still only 4-ounce bottle.
You shoot branks.
This is your 1000th wank.
Mr. DiPaolo, I've never seen such angry sperm.
You break my machine.
I look through a microscope and it berate me.
It gave me the tail.
Your little boy is good swimmer, but very racist.
Shoot brank.
So since Donald Trump, and we're going to get into this, these celebrities, have been threatening to move, and that's fun. But
good.
It's a plus.
But this is something you guys know where this is going. We've actually examined the laws in the countries to which these celebrities are fleeing, and it's far, far worse. So let's set this up, and then we'll go through each country. These celebrities leaving the United States because something Trump won, dystopian. Here you go.
After Donald Trump's victory, thousands of Americans are planning to pack their bags and move abroad.
Bye.
Google search data shows U.S. citizens are actively researching how to move to Canada, New Zealand, and Australia.
Searches like how to move to Europe rose 2,400%. How to move to English-speaking countries was up over 1,300%.
There was a spike in people from the United States looking for work in Canada before election night was even over, and many more apparently woke up the next morning, energized to escape Trump's America.
Energized. All right, let's go through these celebrities.
To hell.
I tried to move abroad last night. I killed a hooker in my hotel room.
But you can do it because it's America, and we don't.
That's right, right behind the ice machine.
So, Ellen DeGeneres is the first one. You've heard of this. Ellen DeGeneres and I'm going to say wife, lesbian lover, moved to the Cotswolds in England. So this is what they did. And okay, fine. What's two less lesbians? I'm not going to lose sleep over it. But
I don't know.
Ugly.
we don't. It's the domestic abuse rates went down 2%. A lot of battered lesbians. That's a fact. You can
Oh,
go to
no doubt. They're
batteredlesbians.org.
angry bitches.
Yeah, and plus they all.
It's like having Ike married to Ike. These eggs are cold, but
yeah, it's just like fitting. Was it Ray Rice, the guy in the elevator?
Yeah.
Just putting two Ray Rices in an elevator.
Yeah.
Or Spirit Airlines. It's the same thing. So they moved to the UK. Okay, but let's look at the laws in the UK, and the references are available. They're going, this is dystopian here in the United States. We have to get out of here. Okay. Well, I don't know if you know this, but Ellen DeGeneres at one point was a comedian. She had you would think as a performer, freedom of speech would be pretty important. UK, you don't have it. The Malicious Communications Act of 1988, and then there was a Communications Act of 2003. They've criminalized indecent or offensive language.
Oh, come on.
They have a hate crime and public order act from 2021. This is Scotland. They criminalize language that could be insulting or is likely to stir up hatred.
Likely?
Yes.
Likely.
Jeez.
Go put on your kilt and shut the fuck up.
This is why Nick can never travel abroad.
Yeah.
Wait, I'm Scottish. I have Scottish in me.
Yeah, I think you're more Scottish than Italian when the
Irish and Scottish are 1% more than it's very disappointing.
Yeah. No one needs to know.
My wife took that swab while I was sleeping. All right.
From the machine.
So these people are moving to this country. And by the way, I don't know if you know this also as far as reproductive rights, these other countries have national laws that are more stringent on abortion. We'll get to that in a second. Here's some clear examples in the UK where Ellen DeGeneres and her lesbian lover have moved in the name of freedom. In 2022, you had a woman arrested for praying silently outside an abortion clinic.
Is you standing here part of the protest?
No, I'm not protesting.
Are you praying?
I might be praying in my head.
Okay, well then you're under arrest. The council
Holy shit.
Failing to comply with the Public Spaces Protection Order, which is under the Antisocial Behaviour Crime Policing Act 2014.
Oh my God.
Don't know if you know that, but that actually is. And by the way, when people say political violence is never the answer, don't know if to dump this on YouTube. If police in the United States are able to arrest you for praying silently publicly, that is a point where political violence would be the only solution. You disagree? Does that make me an extremist? This country is founded upon your right to pray, by the way, out loud. Speech. If in the United States, authorities start arresting people for praying silently, yeah, that would be reason for a civil war.
Well, how about for praying out loud? That's my bar.
Yeah. How about, saying anything at that point? Yeah. And remember they used to say, oh, you have these crazy radical right-wingers blowing up abortion clinics. You can count on one hand the amount of times that has ever happened. But now you can't even pray silently outside an abortion. They're not even holding up signs of dead babies. The woman is out there praying quietly.
Literally,
Silently.
mind.
Yeah. In her mind.
Policing your fucking thoughts.
That's
Literally.
exactly right. Literally policing your thoughts. And by the way, in 2024, you had a right-wing activist who was jailed for placing stickers. I know what you're thinking. Oh, placing swastikas? No. Literally placed stickers that said, reject white guilt. Nationalism is nurture. Diversity designed to fail, built to replace. You may not like it. These are stickers. Someone was arrested for that. Jeez. So this is where they moved, and they think they're more. But even better than that is Eva Longoria, I guess has a place in Mexico and in Spain.
Right,
bodyguards in both.
Yeah, and by the way, it couldn't get any worse if you're saying this is dystopian here in the United States.
Yeah.
When you go to Mexico, so this is where she's splitting her time. She said this. She said, "I get to escape and go somewhere. Most Americans aren't so lucky. They're going to be stuck in this dystopian country, and my anxiety and sadness is for them." Okay. Well, great. You're right. A lot of people can't go to Mexico. Also, people don't. You know who doesn't want to be in Mexico? Mexicans.
Yeah.
So,
explain that. You dumb.
And a big thing. She's always been the whole like as a Hispanic. Oh, okay. So you have a problem with deporting illegal immigrants. Let's look at Mexico. How do they treat immigrants there? You have Mexican citizens who actually must be through law hired over foreigners.
Oh wow.
Proof of legal status for non-citizens must be given at any time. By the way, foreigners, if you're not a native-born citizen, you actually can't own land within 31 miles of the ocean, Mexico. So in other words, if you are not a native-born, can you imagine here if someone had a brown shade of skin and we said, you can't have a lake house?
Boy, I'd love it.
Hold on. 31 miles? I thought it was
31 miles,
yards or something like that. Like you couldn't
31 miles.
If that was LA, you'd be at least in you'd be at least in Watts.
There's some nice houses there.
Pretty cheap.
Yeah. There's like one old Polish couple who are like, we're not leaving our neighborhood.
Jeez.
Oh my God. 31 miles.
That's hilarious.
And you would think that, since she was announcing this to the press, you'd think that freedom of the press would be pretty important too. Well, let's look at Mexico. 36 journalists were murdered during the last president's term.
I don't have a problem with that.
Stop it.
I'm serious. You would be bummed out if 31 CNN and MSNBC fucking people ended up disappearing tomorrow.
My personal sentiments are not relevant here.
It's true.
No, mine are. Listen, this isn't Stephen or him talking. I'm just saying, I actually like when Putin sits down with a journalist and the guy does a swan dive off the 48th floor of the Marriott. I would love to see Rachel Maddow do a fucking cannonball. What do you mean I'll stop? Jesus Christ.
But
Wake up,
this is
people.
according to Human Rights Watch. It says police, prosecutors, and soldiers commonly use torture to obtain confessions and engage in other abuses against those who are accused of crimes. Justice system regularly fails to ensure due process. But Eva Longoria will be fine. Let's go to Spain, where she splits her time there. I don't know if you know this, because of the big reproductive right thing here in the States. Let me be really clear. In the United States, when you're talking about the overturning of Roe v. Wade, the law goes to the states, which of course was a gross violation of human rights, even though in California and places like Colorado, you can still abort the baby up until and including birth, right? There's no national mandate. The fear-mongering this last election was he may instate some kind of a national law, a ban on, by the way, at any stage of development. That was considered a bridge too far. Well, in Spain, it's national, 14 weeks.
Oh.
14 weeks. That's their abortion law. Can you imagine if Donald Trump said, all right, we're going to put a limit on abortion 14 weeks, certainly before we get to the third trimester? Eva Longoria would be moving to Spain. Oh, no, it's there.
She's not aware of anything you just mentioned.
She's
Not
so
one of these
stupid.
facts.
Yes.
And she made it, by the way, as a pretty white woman in this country.
Yes.
People didn't look at her as Hispanic. She's stunning.
Yeah, she's very pretty.
Yeah.
And by the way, I don't know if you know this. You can get away with a lot if you're good looking as a woman.
Really?
It's almost like people don't tell you that you're a moron.
What?
So
Sharon Stone, if she kept her legs crossed, nobody would know who the fuck she was.
It's the perfect distillation.
It is, right?
It's absolutely true.
She's one leg cross away
I
from
know,
being anonymous. Tell me I'm uneducated, you whore.
One leg cross away from being a Twitter egg.
Yeah.
And they don't allow freedom of expression speech, for example, in Spain. Like it's illegal to show disrespect toward law enforcement. It's actually considered an incitement to violence and is criminalized to provoke any type of discrimination. And I know you're saying, well, these are laws. How are they in practice? Well, actually, in Spain in 2021, under said law, there was a comedian who was criminally charged with hate crimes for tweeting jokes about women with Down syndrome, faced almost 2 years in jail and actually a 5-year ban from posting on social media. Hey, Hollywood celebrities, pro-freedom, right? Let freedom reign. But where are you with this? Any celebrity, any leftist celebrity who talks about freedom or holds up a peace symbol, actually, I think should be deported at this point in time. You can't hold up a peace symbol and try and be a San Francisco 60s retread in 2024 and oppose the most peaceful president in our lifetime, possibly a century. And you can't talk about freedom and oppose the one man who believes that everyone should be allowed to speak freely. Think about this. Elon Musk, the richest man on earth. Oh, the evil boogeyman.
Yeah.
He bought the platform and made it more free and open. That's what you consider oppression outside of the olfactory system.
Yeah, where the hell did
it's just
that word come from?
The mask is off. Let's go to Canada.
Let's not say we did.
Yes. I think we should take it over. But a lot of people say, well, I'm going to go to Canada. Canada's done, by the way. It's done. It's a failed nation at this point. They, of course, let me say, we have a bunch of people. Do you have the list? Oh, yeah. We have it right here. People who said they would move to Canada, threatened it. Lena Dunham, Raven Simone, Bryan Cranston, Barbara Streisand, Cher, Whoopi Goldberg. Who's who
Whoopi
of bitches? Bryan Cranston included.
Are they going or no?
I don't know if they're going. They said they would.
Whoopi tried to. They turned away predators at the border. So.
Oh, come on, man. That's racist shit.
No, straight out at the border. They
Gerald,
said,
come on.
Boy,
He's a nice colored lady. Come on.
Boy, you're one ugly motherfucker, eh?
Child. Hey, child, I want to come to Canada, but I hear it's cold. Y'all got a park in there?
Please leave Canada.
I heard you got great beers like moonshine.
What white guy? I can still see how I got infrared.
looking through the.
Oh, that ugly bitch.
So in Canada, let's look at freedom of speech. Well, in Canada, they even have the Online Harms Act, which, by the way, is being debated right now. But that would actually criminalize
Tweets
any
and stuff?
speech online that is likely to foment detestation or vilification. Well, hold on a second. Again, that word it's so broad. It is likely.
Right.
Well, how likely? And what are we detesting? Pedophiles? Are we detesting transitioning minors? Oh, that's the problem that you run into with Canada. A court in Canada can put someone in house arrest if they fear the person may commit a hate crime. What? It's Minority Report without the budget.
Yeah.
And by the way, you want to talk about religious freedom in Quebec? There was a bill passed in 2019, I believe, that actually bans public employees from displaying any religious symbols at work at all. Think about that. Here's some examples on practice. This pastor was arrested for holding church services, remember,
Yes.
under COVID lockdown.
I do remember this.
Here's your freedom, Canada.
After receiving new enforcement powers for public gatherings Thursday, Calgary police have arrested Artur and David Pawlowski, two church leaders notorious for organizing against public health measures.
That being said, I wouldn't go with the tiki torches, but the point remains.
It's a bad look.
That, in fairness to the place, he was having those ceremonies in the men's room off the highway.
Yes, exactly. By the way, I don't know if you've had him on your show. Mike Ward is a comedian, a friend of our show here. He was actually put before a human rights tribunal in Quebec and fined, right? And then it eventually got overturned for making jokes about a disabled kid who, by the way, may have not been as disabled as they let on
was drunk.
This person to be. But either way, this guy made a joke. And he could be he was at a point where he could face arrest and certainly put before a tribunal and having to face fines. There's your freedom. You always wonder these actors, you always wonder these performers, and certainly the worst are comedians who say, "Oh, yeah, I'm going to move to Canada. I'm going to move to the UK," where they wouldn't be able to practice their craft the way you can here in the United States. Yesterday, Donald Trump did troll Canada, though. It's pretty effective. It was this picture right here, captioned, "Oh, Canada."
This guy is a legend.
Off to the left, it's the American
we don't
flag.
deserve him, as people say.
No, he's not. He's not appreciated enough.
You can't make fun of people in a wheelchair. I do my best material. It was a drunk guy in a wheelchair sitting right up front so that everybody could see it, fucking yelling shit out at me. And he goes, "Hey, didn't you have dark hair last year?" I go, "Didn't you have feelings in your feet last year?" And then I got mean.
Yeah.
That was, I let him have it like fucking, you wouldn't believe it.
Yeah. By the way, you can go see nickdip.com for his dates, but I wouldn't advise heckling.
Show up in a wheelchair and heckle.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, he was all cocky and shit.
Yeah.
You know, that's because, you know what? He hasn't had to face accountability. He's been given a free pass. It's that wheelchair privilege.
Yeah. Well, I sliced his tires.
But by the way, there's another one. You have these anti-Trump women, these OnlyFans women and women who are following them, I guess. They're threatening to sterilize themselves after Trump's win. No complaints, no objections, just to be clear.
Me either.
Here's an OnlyFans model who said, "For me, it was a call to action. I need to get this locked in so I don't have to live in fear that at any moment some random guy can completely destroy my life. For me, the idea of getting pregnant is worse than death." Let me rephrase that, okay, what she actually means to say. What she's saying here is, for me, the idea of creating life is worse than death. It's a death cult. The left. It is a death cult. I'm doing what I can to protect my right to choose. I am choosing me. By the way, you live in a state where you can still kill your baby. These people are delusional, and I'm willing to bet that most of these people are college educated.
Who are these people?
Nowhere else in the world. If you leave the United States in search of freedom, it is a fool's errand. There's nowhere else to go.
But please go and learn the lesson.
Yes.
Because apparently you haven't learned it already.
That was my next question. What's the under-over on them coming back?
Yeah, of
the ones that do move.
They'll have a lake house. They'll have a vacation. They'll have a flop
And it
house.
still won't be as good.
I come back every once in a while. Why? For work. Oh, the economic benefits
Yeah,
are coming back. Oh, you like that?
Oh,
huh?
tired of selling cars in Mexico with your tits?
Not shooting a lot of movies in Winnipeg anymore.
Yeah. I don't know how many cool running sequels you can have. By the way, you can go to crowdershop.com and support us in style. It's
Louder with Crowder is.
Yeah.
Whoops. I don't know what that is.
I didn't know it had.
This is my show.
It's supposed to be visual.
Okay.
Look at that. It's
Crowdershop.com. Again,
Merry Christmas,
Rumble
people.
Premium,
Right.
but you can also go if you want to support us. We don't have a tip jar. We don't have a GoFundMe. Just we try and provide you with something that you actually like. And for Christmas, there's some great stuff out there. I had to explain to some Latinas over Thanksgiving that the Che Guevara shirt was insulting. I was like, figs is maricones. Sí. Maricones. So let's go to so did we get the Strangio clip of the 2-year-olds?
Yes, we did.
Okay, let's run that before we get to South Korea. I think we're going to have to continue into Rumble Premium Mug Club with Lane the Brain as we discuss South Korea because we've gone late. Who would have thought that the Chinese sex machine would derail us immediately?
Never knew.
But this is Dr. Strangio, the person arguing before the Supreme Court today that minors should be able to get transition surgery. And we've often in the past said, hey, they're talking about kids like as young as 10 or 8.
He's talking about them knowing at 2, right? And so that's what I was talking about, like knowing as young as 2 years old, knowing that they're this way and having to live 6 or 7 years of their life. Listen to what he says. There you go.
To treat their patients in the best way that they
That's
know how,
creepy
based
right
on
there.
the best available evidence to us. And these are young people who may have known since they were 2 years old exactly who they are, who suffered for 6-7 years before they had any relief. And what's happening here, it's not the kids who are consenting to this.
So pause
treatment.
this.
That's creepy.
So 2 plus 6 years, 8. So this person is advocating transition at the very least at 8, but of course is going to move that bar back to 2 eventually. A parent is consenting at 2, or is a parent inflicting at 8 or 2? Let's reframe this. Let's not allow the left to try and frame these arguments because it's dishonest. Let's go to South Korea. And it is in chaos, and that's because no matter which side, wherever you find yourself, your opponent looks like you. So,
come on.
Some
Spider-Man
Pete Rose, Mo.
And this actually could have a significant impact here on the United States. Sometimes things happen abroad that don't actually really matter to us. Well, here they actually kind of do. So let's look at Korea first as a country and how it's important on a global scale. It's the world's 12th largest economy. Okay, it's our 6th largest trade partner. Okay, we have about 2 million ethnic Koreans in the United States. Actually, the largest population of Koreans on Earth outside of Korea is Los Angeles.
Most of them were on rooftops.
Yes, exactly, on rooftops.
And we love them for it.
And doing your toenails.
Yes, we have about 30,000 troops stationed in Korea.
Oh, I thought you were going to Calabasas.
I'm trying to think of what else we got. We got, Asia Pacific accounts for 54% of global GDP. So the point is, it's a significant global ally partner. And the fallout from yesterday, if you were following the martial law declaration, it could have some pretty big implications here for the United States of America. So let's actually bring in Lane the Brain to discuss the ins and outs of what is happening in South Korea. I believe, do we have theme music for Lane the Brain?
Do it.
Yes, we do.
Do it. Run it. What are you waiting for? Run it.
Did you pick that or did you just do this?
I think it's because he looks like Guile.
Oh, he does.
So we just picked like a Street Fighter thing.
Well, hold on, we got to.
So, by the way, and Lane obviously is he writes a ton of stuff for the show, the research. You actually, this is your wheelhouse. Like you actually have a degree, one that's actually useful that you're putting into good work.
Finally.
Fantastic. Yeah.
Finally. Yeah. I've been waiting for this moment.
International relations and studying, like you work heavily in this in South Korea. You went to school there.
Correct.
And he likes the Korean lady.
He like a lady.
It's a well-known fact.
But
yes,
you,
it is.
You were getting blown up yesterday, not only by me. I called him and I was like, I texted him. I was like, dude, call me as soon as you can because what the hell is going on in South Korea? I knew Lane would know. Yeah. So this is your moment.
Amazing.
So, well, I guess let me set it up with the clip. So last night, for those, this is what you know, just before midnight, the president there, South Korea, I believe is it Yoon Suk Yeol?
That was spot on.
Is it?
Yeah.
Good.
10 of 10. That was bad.
For the rest of that was. I just do the English way the next time. I'll be like Yoon Yeol. He declared a state of martial law, and we didn't really know why yesterday because we were live for the entire country.
I declare martial law to protect the Free Republic of Korea from the threat of North Korean communist forces, to eradicate the despicable pro-North Korean anti-state forces that are plundering the freedom and happiness of our people, and to protect the free constitutional order.
비상계엄을 선포합니다. 저는 이 비상계엄을 통해
Through this martial law, I will rebuild and protect the Free Republic of Korea, which is falling into the abyss of national ruin. To this end, I will definitely eradicate the anti-state forces who are the main culprit of the country's ruination and conduct vicious activities.
반드시 척결하겠습니다.
And immediately after that press conference, he was spotted at this place. So, yeah. Oh, well, you know. Josh! Sick day, my foot.
Looks like a great buddy cop.
It does. Like, you're too serious. I just want to have fun. Make right. So everybody was really confused, Lane.
Right.
And I think probably you think it's helpful to go through the timeline?
Yeah, it's a pretty quick timeline, like 3 or 4 events that would kind of just place in people's minds.
Because a lot of people thought this was a communist thing. It wasn't. It really was about the opposition party. And the implications, spoiler for the United States, is this was a bad political move. This is a pretty conservative president. He's going to lose. And the people who will replace him, very, very likely, extremely left. And that's not really good for the United States.
That's very poor for our
Yes, not good for us. So let's go through the timeline at 10:23. This is
local time.
Yeah, local time there. Yoon declared martial law in a televised address. Can we bring up that overlay? So he accused the opposition party there of anti-state activities. And apparently this call for martial law was aimed at eradicating what he claimed were pro-North Korean forces. To be clear, there were no protests going on. It wasn't like the Summer of Love here, which is why a lot of people were confused. It seems like he may have just lost the plot.
Yeah, he even came out and said he did it in the middle of the night, so because he didn't want to scare the citizens or make the citizens uneasy.
That's the worst way to do this.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, most of my friends woke up to emergency text telling, but it was basically you're still going to school.
Right. Yeah.
They have standards there.
You're waking up to an Amber Alert. You've lost all right. Oh, no.
But still go to class.
Yeah.
Yeah, no snow day.
Yeah, exactly. So then at 12, you had lawmakers arrive at the Assembly main chamber, block the entrance, and we'll get through this entire timeline and what the fallout looks like. 12:27 is when you saw the armed troops. And by the way, you can, of course, continue watching on Rumble Premium. We're going to discuss the ins and outs and take some chats, as well as the Truth Social post, the best New York City memes.
Yeah.
Or do we have that right now? Well, you know what? We'll get to it.
We do.
We do?
We do.
Can we pause?
Do
Can
it.
we pause,
Yeah,
Lane?
pause.
I want to see the memes.
All right, let's see the memes real quick. The best New York City memes and jokes, and then we'll go to 12:27, the armed troops.
All right. Number 3, Florence 2 says, "Welcome to New York."
I got a rotten apple.
That's a big
I get it.
rotten
On Truth
apple.
Social. Nice.
Uh-huh.
Truth Social has some
Visual.
good people there. Okay, number
All right.
2.
Number 2 from Jay Marinelli. "Things to do in New York. Leave."
That's okay. I think that's is that Little New York in Vegas? I
It
think it's
is
Little New York in
Vegas.
Vegas.
It's like New
That's
York,
not New York
yeah.
City, but I understand you have to get it all
That's
in
a
one
Choctaw casino.
Yes. All right, and the number 1 from Truth Social, New York City meme.
God's Daughter 528 writes, "Smack my head. Some people will do anything to avoid paying their fare."
Oh, it's a casket and the subway.
On the subway?
Wow.
That's
Well,
shaking my head.
You know what?
Whatever.
I prefer the rotten apple.
I think the rotten apple. Be the CEO of a healthcare company.
Oof.
Yeah.
Oh, too soon.
That's
Too
too,
soon.
that is
Yeah.
way too soon, Gerald. He's
Yeah,
making a joke.
sorry.
The man was just assassinated.
I'm basically.
That's not even
how
a
bad
that's
of
not even a
city New
joke.
York is.
That's just a very dark recap.
Wait a
of
minute. Who got
historical events.
assassinated? I'm
Well,
sorry.
there's a
The
job
CEO of
opening,
United
I'm just
Healthcare.
saying.
When?
We just got killed in New York City
When?
It sucks.
this morning.
I am told they did have a number 4 as a runner-up that
Oh,
we need
okay.
to show.
Let's see.
Okay.
So F.U. Brandon 46 writes, "There are no gay clubs in New York City until Gerald walked in."
Hey.
I've got gonorrhea too.
Yep. He does. He does.
I don't.
At least he did. He cleared
did.
it up. He cleared
Ah,
it
the
up.
Mulcahy.
Yes. He has lived a full life. All right.
Full
You're gonna get a piece of Gerald's neck hair.
You're not. It's not going to happen.
Yes, you are. Vote or die. What is Sarah Palin? He's a good guy. So,
Look, you set aside the rape and
12:27. Going back to South Korea, what happened? You had armed troops try to enter the assembly building, and actually, this is a montage of what had taken place. I will say the one thing that stands out to me is that it's very different from our protesters when there are clashes. Like I've seen more aggressive wrestling in judo practice.
너